If you have been considering a move to the East Cobb area and you don't know which neighborhood is going to be right for your family, this video is for you. Every week I get the question, Kelly, what's your favorite neighborhood, or what neighborhood should I focus on for my family and our move here? And I keep coming back to the same 10 neighborhoods, and I thought that it was time to make sure that I shared those neighborhoods with you. So this is going to be part one of a two-part series where I highlight my top 10 East Cobb neighborhoods so that when you come in town and shop with your family, you make sure that you are getting neighborhoods that fit exactly what you're looking for. They're in great school districts, they have great amenity packages, and they are neighborhoods that I have moved clients into, every single one of them, and they have all absolutely loved living there. But before that, if you're new here, I hope that you'll click the subscribe button. My name is Kelly Allen, and I have been helping families move into the North Metro Atlanta area now for 27 years. And I specialize in helping you guys find the right neighborhood for your lifestyle. So maybe your new neighborhood is on this list. Let's get started. Now, number one, in no particular order, is going to be Chimney Springs. Now, Chimney Springs is going to be the oldest and largest neighborhood on this list. And it was originally developed beginning in 1973 by a Florida developer who until then had been developing resort-style communities in Florida, but decided to bring that same philosophy to Metro Atlanta. Between 1975 and the early 1980s, Chimney Springs was the fastest growing neighborhood in all of Metro Atlanta. And the location of Chimney Springs just keeps getting better. You're only 40 minutes to Buckhead, 50 minutes to Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport, 13 minutes to historic Roswell, and only 8 minutes to the heart of East Cobb. So from a location standpoint, you've got everything you need right there. Let's talk about amenities, because this is one of the reasons why it made my list. There is a massive 8-acre community fishing lake, 8 lighted tennis courts, an Olympic-sized pool with a swim team, go Sharks, a renovated clubhouse, and biking trails, jogging paths, sidewalks, and more. There's also 3 mini parks throughout the neighborhood that round out this fantastic amenity package. Now, all of these neighborhoods are going to be located in top school districts, and Chimney Springs certainly is that. Chimney Springs feeds into Tritt Elementary, which the majority of the student population lives in Chimney Springs. There are about 800 kids at that elementary school, and the student-teacher ratio is a low 14-to-1. From there, kids go to Hightower Trail Middle School and then on to Pope High School. Pope is ranked number 25 in the state of Georgia. Now, let's talk about the neighbors and the community, because Chimney Springs makes my list because of the sense of community that people have when they live there. In fact, people love living in Chimney Springs so much that it's not uncommon for them to move from one house to another when they need more space or less space. And the neighborhood has one of the best 4th of July parades in East Cobb. You get all of these amenities and this community spirit for a low $700 a year. I surveyed some of my clients who live in Chimney Springs, and here's what they said they love about it. It has an incredible social calendar. So if you're a social person, you want to get out and meet new people, Chimney Springs is perfect for that. It's very safe for kids to bike around. It's got great mature landscaping, from trees to azalea bushes and everything in between. It's really beautiful when you drive through the neighborhood. And depending on where you live in the neighborhood, you can actually walk to the elementary school. Now, like any neighborhood, there are some cons that come with living in Chimney Springs as well. First and foremost, there are a lot of 1970s, early 80s contemporary architecture in the neighborhood. While you do have some 2-story brick traditional, you do have a good bit of that cedar siding architecture. But I tell you what, if you're looking for inspiration on how to make these things look beautiful, drive through Chimney Springs. You will see some fantastic renovations that people have done on the more contemporary homes. Also, there are a couple of streets in Chimney Springs that are just really busy. They carry people from Bishop Lake Road over to Johnson Ferry Road, and some non-residents do use it to cut through. So the streets you want to be aware of are Oak and Chimney Springs Drive. Just know that if you buy on these streets, although you have sidewalks, you will have cars driving past your house more often. Let's talk about real estate. How much does it cost you to get into a neighborhood like Chimney Springs? As of this recording, homes are priced between $500,000 and $10,000 for a complete fixer-upper, up to an astounding $1.6 million new construction. The median sales price is $707,000, and that's up 2% from last year. Homes typically stay on the market for about 2 weeks and they sell for about 99% of asking price. And as we go further along into this video, you're gonna see how impressive those stats are. For my second neighborhood, let's go a little bit newer, a little bit closer into East Cobb with equally amazing amenities. And that neighborhood is called East Hampton. East Hampton was built by John Whelan Homes in the early to late 90s. And John Whelan pioneered the 2-story family room in this neighborhood. East Hampton is located in the heart of East Cobb, within walking distance to the Avenues and to Publix, among other things too. You're only about 45 minutes to the airport and about 30 minutes to Buckhead, making it very convenient if you're commuting to the city or to the airport. The neighborhood has 426 homes divided up into 6 sections, and the homes range between 3,000 square feet to 6,000 square feet. For a $1,550 a year association dues, you get incredible amenities. You've got an incredible pool with a water slide, which makes it very attractive for the young kids. 6 tennis courts, a 2-story clubhouse with a full gym, and 2 playgrounds and 5 lakes. The clubhouse has a full kitchen and bar, which makes it the perfect spot for the guys to get together to watch the big game, or you can rent the clubhouse out for birthday parties, things like that. All right, now let's talk about schools. There is a dividing zone in the neighborhood where some of the homes go to Walton High School and some go to Pope High School, and knowing which side you're on can either save you money or cost you money, Walton being the more expensive side of the neighborhood. But let's talk more about the schools. Mount Bethel Elementary School is one of the largest elementary schools in East Cobb. However, the student to teacher ratio is still a low 14-to-1. After this, the neighborhood splits. Part of the neighborhood will go to Dickerson Middle School, which is the #1 rated middle school in Cobb County. And the other part will go to Dodge Middle School, which is the #3 ranked middle school in Cobb County. From there, if you go to Dickerson, you're going to feed into Walton High School, which is the #1 high school in Cobb County, or Pope High School, which is the #6 high school in Cobb County. And again, knowing those lines will help you negotiate the best possible deal. Again, I polled my clients who live in the neighborhood, and here's what they love about it. The water slide, #1. #2, the location. They can get to grocery stores or shopping in less than 5 minutes, making it extremely convenient. Some of my clients that have moved in there have moved in there because they wanted newer construction. And yes, when you're in East Cobb, 1990s is considered newer construction. It's one of the latest built neighborhoods for the money in East Cobb. The 2 cons that I would make you aware of is #1, the one that we've already talked about before, and that's the differences in school districts inside the neighborhood. But #2, it can be really tough to find a nice flat backyard in this neighborhood because the lot sizes are a good bit smaller in most of the sections. So just be aware of that as you're shopping. Let's talk about real estate. Homes right now are going from $900,000 up to $1.3 million, with the median sales price being right at $1.25 million, which is up 19% year over year, which is incredible. On average, homes are on the market right about 2 weeks, and sellers are getting 99% of their asking price, just like in Chimney Springs. So again, home values are going up. It's a very desirable neighborhood to be in, and that shows with the lower days on market and the little bit of negotiating that buyers are able to do in that neighborhood. With these 2 neighborhoods, it's all about getting into the neighborhood. That's your win as a buyer, not how much you can get off the price. Third on my list is one of the newest neighborhoods in East Cobb, and that's Cobblestone Manor. Cobblestone Manor was built by Ashton Woods, who won Builder of the Year in 2023. The neighborhood was developed between 2014 and 2016, and it is located just north of Sandy Springs, making it one of the closest neighborhoods that you can get to the city. You're 25 minutes to Buckhead, 35 minutes to the airport, and very close to I-285 and Georgia 400. But you're so close to the city that you can actually take back roads there if you wanted to. And what I love about this development is that Ashton Woods didn't skip out on the amenities, they put them in. This one has a great pool with a cabana. It has an outdoor entertaining area with a fireplace that neighbors can use, as well as tennis courts. And you get all of this for $1,860 a year. It's walkable. You can walk to the library, you can walk to grocery stores, and a little bit of shopping. Some research will tell you that it's gated, but it is not gated. There's a total of 125 homes in this neighborhood, with 85 being single family homes and 40 being townhomes. This was really the first mixed use development that we'd seen in East Cobb. The schools that Cobblestone Manor are zoned to are ones that I've mentioned before: Mount Bethel, Dickerson, and Walton. When Cobblestone Manor was built, it represented a change in East Cobb lifestyle and gave us an option of high density luxury living, whether it be in a single family home or a townhome. The reasons why my buyers have picked to live in Cobblestone Manor is, number one, the location. You just about can't get any closer to the city without crossing over into Sandy Springs. There's very little yard work needed in these homes because it is more high density living. It's really one of the newest construction opportunities that you can get in East Cobb and still be in a subdivision with amenities, and it's walkable. There are some cons, and some of the pros can sometimes be cons. Number one, the tight yards. If you're wanting a big sprawling yard, Cobblestone Manor is not going to be for you. Also, there's a section of townhomes and houses that back up to the shopping center next door, which can give you not the greatest view out the side or back of your home. Something you don't know until you live there, it can be really difficult to take a left out of that neighborhood because there is not a stoplight there. So taking a left and going towards the city can present a challenge, especially on high traffic days. To get into Cobblestone Manor, expect to pay anywhere from $1 to $1.7 million, with the median price right now being at $1.13 million. That's actually down 20% year over year. However, we're not talking about that many sales. Last year they had 3 sales, this year they had 4 sales. There's just not enough data to say that prices are going down, but it could present a great opportunity for someone who's negotiating a contract this year. On average, homes are staying on the market almost 2 months right now, and sellers are negotiating about 5% off of their asking price as an average, which is more than any of the neighborhoods that we've talked about so far. So if you're looking for newer construction, you might have an opportunity to negotiate a pretty sweet deal in Cobblestone Manor. Fourth on my list is Sibley Forest. This is a nature lover's paradise and it borders a national park. This was developed by Tom Cousins, who was Atlanta's premier developer in the 1970s and 80s. Construction started in 1980 and there's a total of 301 homes in the neighborhood. Sibley Forest is located right off of Paper Mill, which is located just a couple of roads off of I-75, making this an incredible location if you're going into Buckhead or that West Buckhead or Midtown area. Speaking of, you're only 30 minutes to Buckhead and you're 35 minutes to the airport. Let's talk about amenities though. Something you should know about Sibley Forest is that it is a tennis loving community. They have 6 tennis courts there and they are usually packed, especially on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays when the season is in. One of my favorite amenities of the neighborhood though is the backdoor access that you have to the Chattahoochee River National Recreation Area. This is a perfect spot that you can hop on the trail, get some hiking in, some mountain biking in, go down to the Paper Mill ruins, just have a really amazing time outside. Back in the neighborhood, they have a great pool with a baby pool, which is really hard to find these days. There's also a pavilion that you can watch tennis and keep an eye on the kids in the pool, and a clubhouse. All of this for $1,350 a year in HOA dues. The neighborhood is really active, from Easter egg hunts to 4th of July parades. They do Memorial Day Olympics here, and you're right next door to Soap Creek Elementary, which gives you not only access to their playground, but to all of the festivities that they have throughout the year as well. Speaking of schools, let's talk about those now. Sibley Forest is zoned for the number 3 elementary school in Cobb County, which is Soap Creek Elementary. Now, Soap Creek Elementary is the largest populated elementary school in Cobb County with over 1,100 students. The student-teacher ratio is 15:1 in most classes. I've had kids that have gone through Soap Creek and they absolutely loved it. From there, the kids are going to split after elementary school, with a small portion of Soap Creek Elementary going into Dickerson and Walton high schools, and a larger part going into East Cobb Middle and Wheeler High School. Now let's talk about East Cobb Middle and Wheeler High School for a second, because they are not traditionally the schools that people call me and tell me they want to be in, but I always encourage people to research them. East Cobb Middle School has a 6 out of 10 ranking on greatschools.org and a B+ rating on Niche. It's number 189 for best middle schools in Georgia. And I have known plenty of people to go through East Cobb Middle and they had a great experience. Now from there, those kids go to Wheeler High School and it's an A+ on niche. However, it's ranked a 6 out of 10 on grade schools. Now, Wheeler does not have a reputation like Walton High School. However, I think it's a little unfair. They have an incredible STEM program there that kids from outside of that school can apply and get into. However, because of the differences in rankings between East Cobb and Wheeler versus some of the neighboring high school districts, it forces Sibley Forest families to make a decision early on. What do they do past elementary school? Do they keep their kids in public school or do they go private? And that will have to be a decision that you guys research and make on your own. Now let's talk about real estate. Homes in Sibley go for as little as $779,000 and up to over $1.6 million, with that median sales price being $1.125 right now. That's actually down 11% year over year. Homes tend to stay on the market an average of 19 days in the neighborhood, and sellers are negotiating a lot more off their asking price this year compared to last year. Right now, sellers are getting 94% on average of their asking price, whereas last year they were getting 100% of their asking price on average. That is a huge delta, meaning that right now you can get into Sibley and negotiate the kind of deal that you haven't been able to negotiate in years. So the people that I have moved in there say that they love being that close to the Chattahoochee Nature Preserve, the community spirit in Sibley and all of the activities they do, and being within walking distance of Soap Creek. The con is the school split that we talked about and the decision that you have to make about going public or private. But if you are looking for one of the most beautiful neighborhoods with stunning architecture where every home feels custom and different than the next home, Sibley needs to be on your list. Now, let's get into our 5th neighborhood. But remember, this is going to be part 1 of a 2-part series. Tune in next week for my 2nd set of 5 favorite neighborhoods in East Cobb. Make sure to click the subscribe button and the alert button so that you know when that video gets posted. All right, neighborhood number 5 is Jackson's Creek. This is a community that is built around water. You are within walking distance of the Chattahoochee River and the boardwalk, and you've got a beautiful lake right in the neighborhood. Jackson's Creek was developed beginning in 1974 and went through 1986. And there are approximately 250 homes in the neighborhood. And again, it's one of the rare neighborhoods that has access to the Chattahoochee River. The location is on the northeast side of Cobb County, making it very close to downtown Roswell. You can be there in 10 minutes. You also can be to Georgia 400 in as little as 15 minutes. You're gonna get into Buckhead in about 40 minutes, and to the airport in about 50 minutes. Let's talk about the amenities, and let's start with the massive 26-acre Jackson Lake. On this lake, you can canoe, fish, kayak, paddleboard, pretty much anything you could want to do on this lake except having a gas-powered boat. There's also a great pool, a clubhouse, and great tennis courts. And the HOA dues are a bargain. It's only $725 a year for all of this. Jackson's Creek is a little different because it's zoned to 2 different elementary schools. One side of the neighborhood is zoned to Mount Bethel Elementary School, which we've already talked a lot about. The other side of the neighborhood is zoned to Timber Ridge Elementary School, the smallest populated elementary school in Cobb County, which is why so many people love it. No matter where you live in the neighborhood, though, you're going to be going to Dickerson Middle School and top-ranked Walton High School. So again, I polled some of my clients and friends who I've helped move into the neighborhood, and here's what they love about it. They love the resort-style feel of the lake. They love being able to just run out of their neighborhood and be on the river or on the boardwalk in as little as 5 minutes. They love how picturesque the neighborhood is. From the moment you walk in, you are driving under a canopy of beautiful oak trees and you know you're somewhere special. The only con that I hear about the neighborhood is the dam and the lake. So for years, Cobb County has been in a debate with the neighborhood about needing to repair or replace the dam. The neighborhood itself has hired multiple engineers to say that this is not needed, whereas Cobb County has said that it is needed. So they remain at a stalemate, but they've dropped the water level low enough that they don't have to worry about it anymore. But if that was required to happen, either a dam replacement or repair, that would fall on the owners of Jackson's Creek, which could result in a pretty hefty assessment. Jackson's Creek is one of the more bargain neighborhoods. You can get in for as little as $490,000, or you can spend as much as $1 million, with the median sales price being right at $735,000, which is down 9% year over year. And the reason why it's down is because the year before there were several renovations that sold, and over the past 12 months, nothing's really sold that's been really renovated, and therefore they've sold at lower prices. Homes tend to stay on the market for about 3 weeks, and right now sellers are negotiating more than they've had in many, many years. In fact, the average amount they're negotiating off their price is 6%. And guys, this time last year, sellers were getting 102% of their asking price. But again, it's because there were more renovations that were selling. Those go fast and for a lot of money. So that is it. That is my first 5 of my 10 favorite neighborhoods. I'd love to hear what you think in the comments. Did I miss your favorite East Cobb neighborhood? If so, put it in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think about that. And stay tuned for part 2. And again, if you're thinking about a move to Metro Atlanta, go ahead and reach out to me. You can contact me through the link in my description. Hop on my calendar. There's a link right there. Get on my calendar. Let's talk for about 15 minutes so I can help you figure out what is going to be the best neighborhood for you, whether it's in East Cobb, Roswell, Alpharetta, Milton, or Johns Creek. I'll talk to you soon.